So, I am just representing the outreach committee. Some of the deliberations that we've been doing or had for the past 2-3 years. So, I just want to tell you first what the outreach committee is about. We've been hearing for the past 3 days a slogan, more devotees, say that again, more devotees, happier devotees. Thank you. This particular presentation is very much connected with more devotees, happier devotees. Wrong. This is only connected with more devotees. Actually, this program has nothing to do with devotee care or happier devotees. Devotee care has already been separated from this committee. It's a separate committee, so that we'll be completely focused on more devotees alone. And that's, in other terms, I'd like to tell you that it means that we're going to look into non-devotee care. We're going to reach out to people who are not devotees and start caring for them. I hope you understand now. It took us quite some time to understand this ourselves in a committee. All right. So there you have something very important about non-devotees, and this was expressed by Srila Prabhupada in his very famous Vyas Puja offering to his Guru Maharaj. People are suffering for want of Krishna consciousness. And we are looked upon as persons who can actually do that. And the Supreme Lord himself, he felt that very much. Out of his great compassion, he appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu solely for the purpose of reaching out and helping conditioned souls. And therefore, it's our duty too to actually do that. It's reflected here by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he is the only gardener and he has a laborious task to distribute many fruits, and yet he is concerned that some would receive them and others would not. And he ordered all of us to actually therefore spread the Krishna consciousness movement. So every one of you who is here in your area representing the order of the parampara, they are all looking upon you to spread this mercy to everybody in your area. Your Guru Maharaj or Gurudev, Prabhupada, everybody up the parampara, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, up to Krishna, they're all looking upon you. Will this person do that? Will he take this order and distribute it to the people around him? I don't think there's anybody else apart from you in your particular area. So understand what an important responsibility this is. Here you see Srila Prabhupada doing that. He took that order to heart and he reached out, a master reach out personality. He came right from India into the thick of this place in Hippie Hill. You see him actually playing the mridanga amongst people that are totally strange to him and reaching out to them, introducing the holy name to them. So what Srila Prabhupada gave us was all these tools, core preaching tools, Harinam, Prasadam, festivals, and many more things for us to expand and reach out. These are the traditional outreach tools that we have. And how good are we using this? Are we able to get the full mileage out of this? Are we an impact organization that actually impacts people with these tools? Harinam, Prasadam, festivals, wow, wonderful. And then are we persons who just live on impact alone? Or do we go beyond? Or we just rest on the laurels of Prabhupada, of having introduced these things? Are we working only on these tools properly? Or are we taking it beyond what it's supposed to be? So I'm talking about the culture of contact and follow-up. After the impact, how much of follow-up do we do? How much are we concerned? How much do we extend the compassion and go follow up that particular conditioned soul and make sure that he takes up the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? So I'm just drawing a small diagram here to show what we actually do from what we have studied till now. I would say that we have a whole gamut of things that we need to do. We need to first impact, then we need to follow up, contact, cultivate, and then go ahead and care for those devotees and counsel them and then give them good association, and lo and behold, Hari Bol, a devotee is formed. It takes a lot of work to do that. But unfortunately, we have seen that although we may even extend the impact a little bit, we go up to a little bit of follow, but after that we actually don't go the whole range much. And that's the whole analysis. That we need to do this whole thing is because other organizations are doing a lot on this side. And they're actually waiting for organizations like us to go and do the impact, because we are so good at impact and we're not so good at actually bringing the fruit home. We harvest, we sow the seeds, we grow, we cultivate, and then finally we actually don't bring the fruits home. That's one big problem. That is, we need to, when we talk about outreach, we need to do the full thing right up to seeing the fruit coming into our organization, people belonging into the wonderful organization that Srila Prabhupada has set up. And therefore we want to know, how good are we using these tools? Are we superficially using them? Are we just happy with just the impact? Do we think that we had a good program and we go back? Do we actually follow up, etc.? I just want to recollect once His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, he recollected a Kumbh Mela program way back, and he told me that it was a very wonderful Kumbh Mela program, and Prabhupada was there and others were there, and then he was walking past the tent of Vishwa Hindu Parishad, and they were discussing about ISKCON and the powerful program that ISKCON has, and they were talking about whether we are endangered by ISKCON's presence. This Hare Krishna Valas is so good, so powerful, and the leader said, "Hey, don't worry, these guys are very good at impact, and they will walk away. We will harvest. We'll take the fruits." And he said he heard that and he understood we need to do something beyond just our impact, how to bring the fruits home. So we need to actually understand what is our outreach index, what's our outreach factor, how much are we actually affecting people, how much are we actually able to influence them and bring them into our fold. So this is exactly what the outreach committee is trying to do. One of the things it's trying to do, among many things, it has outreach a very expansive, vast area. So we are trying to see how we can actually manage our outreach effectively so that we'll be able to do it fully. I mean to say this because we got those tools which others don't have, and we need to examine whether we're using them properly, because others may not have these tools, but they are very good at following up and getting their fruits home. I want to give you, last time I spoke about one little example about a very famous mission called Chinmaya Mission, and their head Swamiji, he gave a big program. He had hundreds of people listen to his Ramayana, and at the 10th day, the last day of the performance, it was a nice grand festival. And after that, he got up and everybody was saying all glories to the Swamiji. And then he got up and he said, "One last word, I have to ask you a personal question." He said, "How many of you here, after hearing Ramayana, feel the sincere desire to accept a guru? Make yourself my disciple." Then all of them enthusiastically raised their hands. And he took water from his little kamandalu, just splashed it all on and said, "All of you my disciples." One shot, he got all of them. And he said, "Give your name and details to my secretary," and walked off. He brought his fruit home, his 10 days effort, he made sure that he get them all inside. And next time you meet any one of them, say, "I'm already initiated, my guru is so and so. If you have something to tell me, I can hear you, but I won't join you." Right? So in comparison to that, how are we getting the people inside? Look at the methods that other people are using. So we do a lot of hard work, we have impact, we have powerful tools. Are we going the extra mile to get people inside fully? Are we doing that wisely? Are we doing that intelligently? This is one of the areas that outreach is actually trying to look into and help other people to do it. So we often say that we have to be a preacher, we have to be a trained preacher, etc. And we want that we'll be good speakers, we'll know this, we'll know that, but actually out in the field, you may not need to know so many things to gather people. So that's another ball game altogether. So we think we should be speakers, we think we should be scholars, we think we should be entertainers, we should speak very nicely, etc. But actually, effectively, we should preach the word of Krishna, which just communicate, Jari Deko Tahi Kaho Krishna Upadesh, and everybody can be a preacher. Everybody can speak, and everybody can expand. And this is what Srila Prabhupada has taught us, and this is what we are trying to focus on, seeing how many people can we cover. Whether they are completely perfect or not, we want them all to belong to the society of His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. They may be belonging at various levels, but then we want them inside, want them to belong, and this will be effective outreach. So I'd like to tell you more about what this outreach committee can do, and I'll call upon Pancharatna Prabhu to speak a few words about how we can serve you and what we need from you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Dr. Maharaja. So, our committee, you have it up there? Okay. First of all, just to introduce ourselves, this committee has gone through quite a few permutations over the years, ebbing and flowing. As of the meeting in Mumbai in October, we are now, we've resolved into a small core group of devotees who are trying to move this agenda forward. Bhakti Vinode Maharaja is there, as well as Hanuman Prabhu, Subudhi Krishna Prabhu, who's also here. He's also giving, has been giving seminars, and Achyutatma Prabhu from Russia, and Vaishnava Seva Prabhu, and myself. So we are the small group trying to move this agenda forward, and we've come up with these key result areas, which I'll go through very quickly, for our committee to be working on. The first is leadership, which means the vision for outreach. There are issues here. What does outreach mean? What is outreach? What is maybe supportive of outreach, but it should be strategically planned in some other way. How are devotees inspired? How can we increase the inspiration of devotees in our society for doing outreach? And how can we organize? How can we better organize the outreach? So this all comes under the category of leadership. This is our first key result area. Then we want to support outreach. We want the GBC, our job is to develop plans for the GBC and the executive system to implement. So the kinds of plans we're developing are to support the outreach efforts through better tools and resources, better networking amongst the devotees who are involved in outreach, integration and collaboration of the various outreach methods. Then we also are going to be looking at various specialized forms of outreach that may not be common to every single center of our society, but require specialized efforts and should be done in a special way. They should, like we were just hearing about communications, that if everyone takes upon themselves to do communications in any way they like, we can have some difficulties. So there are some areas, some methods of outreach, say interfaith, for example, or the academic community, where these efforts should be done in a proper way, and so that there's a need to help support that. There's also special audiences, the scientific community, for example, that need to be approached in a special way. Then finally we come to branding. Branding is again something that if we leave it to every one of our centers to do, we may get what we have, which is a kind of, inconsistent brand that ISKCON represents. And last is measurement and analysis. So I'll just quickly go through some of our details here. In the areas of vision, we want to try to deepen our understanding of Srila Prabhupada's mission for ISKCON. What is our outreach? What are we trying to affect by outreach? Of course, we're trying to share Krishna consciousness. But perhaps we are also trying to affect the world in certain ways. We want to change the world through Krishna consciousness, but when we package our Krishna consciousness messages, we may be needing to really evaluate how we do that. Evaluating our goals, developing, clarifying, and enhancing our messages. Then inspiration, we want to ensure, this is one of our key mission areas, that the service of outreach, the service of sharing Krishna consciousness becomes the heart. It's at the heart of what it means to be a devotee, to belong to ISKCON. That is, we are all, as Maharaj was describing, we are all preachers in that sense. Mahaprabhu gave us all the order. We also want to, the audiences for this work is, of course, all of you, the ISKCON leaders, but also the members of ISKCON. Next. In leadership, we want to help the GBC to lead the devotees into the preaching field by providing all of these things: inspiration, organization, innovation, and their own personal results. We want to help them do that. Next. Tools and resources. These are the kind of tools we're looking at. The best practice toolkits. Some of that we're seeing in the book distribution group that are coming out with things like how to do a smart box, how to do a monthly Sankirtan festival, how to do all these different things. Various innovations, other kinds of tools. Next. Networking, developing ways for all of you to share your ideas. And I'll say it now and I'll say it at the end. We need you to come to us, please, and tell us those devotees, yourself and others, who are doing really great outreach things, innovations, other or just the regular thing, but really doing well, and so that we can connect with those devotees and help them to network with everybody else, so that we can have more inspiration and motivation in developing a team approach to outreach. How can we get more done by working together? Next. Then, as I said, special methods that we're looking at. There's the internet. The internet, of course, is the biggest area of potential outreach, which we can do so much more if we do it good. We do it well, I'm sorry. We do it really well, and we do it professionally. Television. Who can afford to have their own television station at every center? It's not possible. But if we have combined efforts, we can maybe get more into that. Some people are doing that. The print media. Who could put a full-page ad in the New York Times? Can Brooklyn Center do that? No, they can't do that. But maybe the entire world of ISKCON might be able to do that if it were a combined effort. So these are special methods. Social networks, celebrity preachers is something that we need to look at. How devotees who have really got a lot of charisma and are able to attract big audiences, how do we mobilize them and integrate their efforts into an all ISKCON process? E-learning, learning online, how does that come into our outreach scenario? These are all special methods. Next. And as I said, special audiences are there, the scientific community, the academic community. These need to be handled in special ways. The environmental movement. This is a major opportunity for our society. But not everyone knows how to speak to this audience. It's not, if you stand up and speak to an environmental movement crowd and you start talking in a certain way that tells them you actually know nothing about the environmental movement, they're not going to care much for what you say. So, and they have their own language, they have their own ideas and so on. So, and other opinion leaders. Next. Branding. How do we develop our outreach brand? How does it represented in our print, internet, events, and media? Next. And integration and collaboration. There are many ministries that are involved in different kinds of outreach. Of course, the book distribution is there, congregational development, devotee care, etc. Next. Then finally, measurement and analysis. How do we define the results? What do we measure? Today, we're pretty good at measuring books going out. We're pretty good at doing that. But as Maharaj pointed out, we don't really measure very well what the results of those books are. Who is reading the books. I mean, a more important figure for us really should be not how many books went. I mean, that is important because we know that eventually most of them will hopefully be read. But what is really important is how many books are being read. And even more important is how many books are being understood. And even more important than that is how many books are then becoming the inspiration for somebody. Whereas perhaps for some people, they read our books and they say, well, okay, now I know about the Hare Krishnas, and that's not for me. Okay, so we have to look at all of that and see how we can define the results that we want to measure, how to collect information so that we know how to count things. There's a quote I use in our seminar that if a gardener doesn't count the fruits coming out of his garden, then he doesn't know whether he's having a good result or not, if he just plants the seeds and walks away. Then finally, I think that's the end. Can you, next slide? Yeah, it is. Hare Krishna. So I'll say it again. We would like to ask you all to please connect with us. Again, who are we? There's Bhakti Vinode Maharaj, there's myself, there's Hanuman Prabhu, there's Subhuti Krishna from North America, there's Chutatma from Russia, there's Vaishnava Seva from Mumbai. He's the only one of us that's not here in this ILS, but we're all online. I don't have a email up there. You'll get it right in your follow-up. So thank you very, very much. Hare Krishna. Oh, by the way, we do have two more seminars going on that's from our committee. And we're also collaborating with the BBT on the book distribution seminar, so please attend. Thank you. Hare Krishna.